Today's video is brought to you by Wood Defender.
So you want to put up a high tensile fence, but you don't want to dig a bunch of holes, post hole digger, rent an auger, pour a bunch of concrete. Got a quick solution for you. Today, we're going to be putting up a new fence, a little area for the pigs, get them out of the main yard. We're going to be putting in a no-climb horse fence, which requires stretch, unlike the welded wire over here. The benefits of this, it's a lot more heavy duty. It's 12.
Who's going to say it?
That's not high tensile wire.
He got bamboozled.
He got totally took. That is not high tensile fence. That is what's known as red brand, low carbon, normal 2x4 horse fence. This is not high tensile. This is gonna get rough.
12 gauge versus the 14 gauge in the welded wire. The thickness in the wire, it's a lot thicker, and it's got these woven knots. You can stretch it real tight, where the pigs can't bust out of there. And then this is an example of the welded wire, which is pretty good stuff, just not as strong, not as thick.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah, so red brand compared to that welded wire, red brand would be a step up from the welded wire. Welded wire, it's very light duty. It's just a fuse weld, the welds break, and then you have giant holes in your fence. On the red brand, that thicker, heavier wire, it's not as strong as wire though. So you're thicker, but you're weaker.
It's not as strong as what?
Compared to high tensile. I would say welded wire is the easiest wire out there to put up.
I would absolutely disagree.
Because there's no stretching. It's just a staple.
Well, it's easy as long as
take
you
your
don't want
roofing
to,
staple and
yeah, you don't want it to look good. It is impossible to stretch welded wire.
I think that the main reason that welded wire was created is to be able to put that over your dump trailer to contain all your trash when you're on your way to your landfill, or to use tree rings to put around trees to keep the deer from eating your trees.
So welded wire, as far as I'm concerned, there's welded wire at the bottom, low carbon wire right here, and then high tensile wire would be your premium product.
I concur.
Okay.
Now to stretch this bad boy, I made a finch stretcher. You can buy these things for $70, or you can just make your own. That's one 8-foot 2x4 cut in half, and then some bolts through it. Got 5 bolts there to distribute the tension of the fence so we don't damage it. And then just a chain running off. We'll attach that to the tractor and give it a good yanking. Every once in a while, I find a product that I want to share with you guys that works really well.
You're not going to stop and talk about his awesome stretcher there?
I was really interested in what kind of product he was going to talk about that works really well. I was hoping it wasn't the 2x4 stretcher. I'm going to date myself a little bit. So this is kind of the way we got started. I used 2x4s maybe one time to stretch back when I was in my teens, and then quickly adapted different tools to be able to do that using pipe and some come-alongs and stuff. And now we've gone clear into our wedge board strainers, which if you haven't seen those, there's a video on how to use those right here, which would be a much better tool to use than a 2x4s. However, that's more of a professional grade, and I get why people do this because they don't want to spend $200 on something they're going to use once. But if you own a farm, it's probably worth investing in because it's going to make your life that much easier and give you that much better fence because you'll be able to actually get it tight. We can pull on those all day long and not break them. He's going to have to worry about breaking things and slippage and everything else that's going to go with these 2x4s. In a pinch, will it work? Yeah. Are you going to be able to do everything we can do with the proper tool? No.
100% agreed.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Areas, and you see these fences, they've all got brace corners. Takes a lot of man hour, a lot of time, effort, money to dig these things down. People are going like 5-6 feet in the ground with them, trying to break.
Dude, that looks like a quality brace. Did you see that? That Rance brace?
That's all right.
That was beautiful. I'm curious to see what he's going to recommend to us.
It all up. There's a company that makes this wedge kit. You got to check it out. It's called Wedge Lock. Let me show it to you real quick. Check these things out. They install in just minutes. Just slide this thing over your T-post. It's got these little pieces of lock.
I have used those. There is a great time and a great place for those. This, maybe not so much. What I would recommend this type of brace kit for, it would be temporary.
Like you need to set something temporary up and it needs to be super fast. It's not a long-lasting solution.
No, 100%.
This is a 6-month solution.
Even his little 2x4 stretching kit will still bend this brace.
Yeah, easily.
Another T-post in at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, get rid of the onion.
Keep that fence nice and tight. I actually went to their website, stole a little clip. Check this out.
The strength of wedge lock hardware can be seen in this demonstration. A stress test was performed at the University of Arizona's Agricultural Research Department to determine how much resistance could be applied to the bracing. The wire fencing itself snapped, leaving the wedge lock hardware intact.
You know what that means, don't you? You know this, right? You know we're gonna have to go buy some of this and test.
Did you see that T-post?
It was a
that
little crooked.
T-post was like ready to collapse.
Yeah, with that 300-pound four-wheeler, it really got that thing. She's backed up.
When you get that thing all up in the air like that.
Yeah, so watch for that video coming out because now I'm genuinely curious.
Hey guys, we hope you guys are enjoying today's video. We wanted to drop in and tell you a thing or two about today's sponsor, Wood Defender. We love these guys. They have a great product. Wood Defender is oil-based, so therefore you're not going to have any chipping, cracking, or flaking of your fence stain. Wood Defender is self-leveling. If you cover your fence to the point of saturation, you're not going to be able to see a heavier spot and a lighter spot. Also, if you start and stop, you're not going to see any stitch lines. You are going to have some drips, you're going to have some runs, but you're not going to see them because it's self-leveling. I don't want to go out there with a paintbrush and stain my fence. No, you're thinking the wrong thing. Wood Defender is so easy to apply. Pick up a simple weed sprayer and away you go, spraying down your fence. Now what about overspray? Is that difficult to clean off? Wood Defender is super easy to clean up off of non-porous surfaces. Just take a dry rag, maybe some dish soap and water, and wipe it right off. On porous surfaces, it takes just a little extra prep work with either a drop cloth, some dish soap, and some water. Wood Defender has been family owned since 1952, and they have amazing customer service to match. Wood Defender has dealers in every state who can ship anywhere, just like us. Make sure and see the link below. And now back to the video.
Where did you get that, roll that beautiful bean footage? I need to
Bush's
ask.
baked beans. That's probably trademarked. Remember the golden retriever and the roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I knew I'd heard that somewhere. Okay.
The fence stretcher is on. It's time to add a little horsepower.
Yeah, ooh, the mower. Heck yeah, man. Get it.
Look at them treads.
This side here is too much fence for this to pull. We're gonna have to use it come along.
I wonder what he's gonna.
Oh,
hook
he
that
skidded
thing
out
to.
the mower, actually, huh? Well, it's still hooked to the
For
mower.
the last
so.
bit.
Okay. Okay.
That sure looks tight to me.
It's usually not a good sign when you get it tight and you can see the waves. That's usually that's a really good indication that it is not tight. It is in fact not tight. That's probably good because with the braces that are being used, it really can't handle much. It's not going to hold tension anyhow. I also see that we've done some work. I don't know how we got around the corner and kept it tight. Probably where we lost a lot of our tension.
Yep. Yeah, we pulled it right there with the big long direction, and then we just looks like maybe he put some ties on it. I can see that top wire is tied.
Yeah. Maybe that was meant to hold the tension.
Now I know these aren't going to be as strong as like a 8-inch round post and a big old bull hitting on it or something, but for the reason I needed it, it was perfect. There we go. Fence is installed with the wedge lock system. Nice and sturdy. Turned out real good. Another shot from the inside.
We've talked about angles a lot, and angles matter because it changes the geometry and the pole and the physics of bracing, but these T-posts are at a very steep angle. That can be good depending on what you're trying to do, but in this particular case, what that's going to do is as tension is applied to that corner post, all it's going to do is serve to jack that corner post right out of the ground. So it may take enough pressure, and when we do this video on how well these things work, we can test that, but I submit that those will probably pull right out of the ground. If you had an equal strain coming away from that corner, it's just going to pop right out of the ground. Because I'm betting those T-posts are in typically down to just below the flanges, so you're lucky if you've got those T-posts in there.
1.5 feet.
Even 1.5 feet would be a lot. Usually they're priced 14, 16 inches to the top of that flange. Something else to keep in mind is there's different grades of T-posts. 125 T-posts are light duty, and the 133 T-posts, which are the spec commercial T-posts. So I'm gathering from the intro to this guy is not a professional fence builder, so I give him some props for getting his fence done. I feel like this is maybe he intended for this to be temporary. Looked like an add-on to a pin. If that's the purpose of this, it probably was good enough.
Yeah, for a temporary fence, this is perfect. A long-term permanent fence with constant animals in there, this is not the route I would go.
Agreed. Sorry, I was dying laughing when he got off the lawnmower. That was...
So another thing to note, where his pin was versus the side of the post he put the wire on. He put the wire on the non-pressure side. So usually you would have your wire towards your animals, so the animals pushing on the wire, pushing the wire against the post, not away from the post.
Yeah. Well,
your wire should go on your pressure side of your post.
You don't want it when the animals are pushing on it to put all that strain on the fastening devices or your clips.
Yeah.
I noticed he was using the standard clips that come with these. Another hintful fact, or use the Easy Twist T-post ties that we sell. And we'll put a link down below and a video right over here that shows you how beneficial those are and how much easier they are to tie. There is no worse wire to tie than 2x4 no climb horse fence. It's the worst. But with Easy Twist ties,
a lot of
it's
wires.
super easy. So I'd recommend those to him as well. So we're going to give this guy, is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Are we calling this temporary or are we calling it permanent?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up for temporary, a thumbs down for anything permanent.
I concur.
So that's like, I'm going to go neutral.
Neutral. I'm 100% on board with what you said.
Yeah.
Temporary, it's awesome. Permanent, no, not at all.
That's a project waiting to happen again in a few months. Let us know what you thought in the comments down below. And until next time, I'm Mark with SWI.
I'm Alan with SWI.
Hey, take turns. Take
No,
turns.
it's always been this seat, then this seat, and then that seat.
Okay.
Get with the freaking program.
Okay.
Why are you changing it?
I'm Mark with SWI.
I'm Alan with SWI.
I'm Dan with SWI.
Until next time, you have a good dang day.